everybody, welcome to Education for Life. Today we are continuing our series, our Work Smart series. And today I'm going to talk about the use of time. Successful people always have this ability to make full use of their time. All of us have 24 hours a day. Unfortunately, we waste most of the 24 hours. Let's, for argument's sake, we calculate 8 hours, we allocate 8 hours for rest, to sleep, and then let's say you take off another 2 or 3 hours, to do your normal things like getting dressed, having a shower, preparing to go to work or whatever. You take away all those, take away 8 hours, so you're left with, let's say 12 hours, and we've got 12 hours left. And unfortunately, those 12 hours are wasted because people don't know how to use time. We take it for granted. I always tell my students, each one of us, when we were born, we were given a whole tank, like a water tank. It's got water in it, but this tank has got time in it. And when you were born, you and I, when we were born, we were given a tank full of time, and it's open, and the time is running until we die. Unfortunately, none of us know when we're going to die, so we don't really know how much time we have. But every minute, every second that runs out of this tank, you cannot bring it back. It's gone forever. So you got to look at, and time is probably, apart from the human being, time is probably the most important resource. Because if you run out of time, if your tank runs dry of time, you're going to go to the cemetery. You're finished. You got to think of it seriously. Time is a very valuable resource, and yet most people don't make use of it. They waste it, they gossip, they go around walking around doing nothing, and time passes them by until when they are close to dying, to going to the cemetery, then they realize, then they start to cry, they start to regret, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. So I hope you listen carefully to this article. No one knows when they're going to die, but you can make full use of your time. Now, using time and managing time is two different things. You can manage time and yet still not achieve anything. Like you can allocate time to study, time for meditation, time to play sport, time to go to church, whatever your interest is. But you may not achieve anything. The reason is most people don't have goals to achieve within a time frame. Everything is measured over time. If you to look at business, when we talk about the financial statements, the financial statement is over this period, the beginning to the end period. For tax purposes, it's mainly 1 year. But the calendar year or a normal financial year calendar year starts from January to December, and financial year in a lot of countries is from 1st of July to the 30th of June. But it's over a period of time. When we do profit and loss in business, it's over a period of time. From this date to this date, how we make this much money. So time is used to measure practically everything. The sun is about the time. 24 hours is actually the time it takes for the sun, for the earth to spin one round. That's what time is all about. But what did you achieve in the 24 hours? Did you achieve anything? Or did you waste it? Did you waste it just doing things? You see, doing things and achieving something is two different things. A lot of people will say, well, what did you do yesterday? Say, I went to this meeting, I went to that meeting, and I was talking to these people and that people. But what I should have asked them is, well, what did you achieve yesterday? Did you achieve anything? What is it that you achieved? The answer normally is nothing, because they don't have any goals. They don't set quantitative goals. I have to do this. I have to make 10 kina today. This is my goal. I must make a profit of 10 kina. So that is a goal. So you can set goals, all types of goals. If you play sport, you should set goals for sport. It depends on what sport you're playing. In business, it's always about profit, the bottom line. How to achieve that, or turning over your money, what they call financial indicators. And the other goals is what they call key performance indicators. Like in sport, if you watch rugby league, at half time, They will always tell you the key performance indicators. How much time did this team spend in the other team's half, the quarter, their goal line? How many missed tackles did you make? How many line breaks did you make? How many meters did you run? So they are what in business we call them key performance indicators rather than financial indicators. Financial indicators is how much gross profit you made, how much net profit, what is your turnover, what are your expenses, what are the costs of sales. So that's different. But they are indicators of performance. And these are things that you should have goals set. Well, how much gross profit do you want to make? How much net profit do you want to make? In sport, how fast do you want to run? How many meters do you want to run? How many minutes do you want to spend in the other opposite's half? Because if you spend most of the time in your half, you're not going to score because it's a long way from the opposite's goal line. So these are the goals that you have to set. But unfortunately, most people, they don't have goals. They just do this, they do that, and achieve nothing. And then, when it's time to go to the cemetery, that's when we start.